Hey, what's going on, sales reps? Derek here from Escape Sales, co-founder at Growth School, and I'm here to show you some results. If you're still wondering if Growth School actually works, I want to show you something we call the win wall. This is where students share their wins, their breakthroughs, landing clients, replacing their income, quitting their jobs, and everything else in between. These are real reps just like you in the exact same position, grinding it out with quota resets, but looking a way to build some freedom on their own terms. And look, if you're watching this, you probably heard a bunch of pitches online from online gurus. Everyone claims they can help you quit your job, make 10K. It's normal to be skeptical. I was the same way, so that's why we built this win wall. It's not theory, it's not marketing copy. These are real people, sales reps just like you who came in with some doubts and put up some wins fast. So this is our win wall. It's very, very long. We've got 6 different pages here, over 155 results. So let's zero in on Macau. Macau was an SDR working at an AI tech startup. And you can see right here, he closed a $5,400 a month client, but let's take a step back to show how he actually got here. So this was 2 days after Macau had first spoken with me. He'd been in sales for the past 7 years. He had tried coaching before, hired mentors. I think he had spent over 17 grand trying to find help, but could never get that breakthrough until he met us. From the very first conversation we had, he landed his first client 2 days later. 4 days in, he had his second client. And within his first week, he had 6 trial clients lining up, ready to work with him. Within that first month, he had already quit his job. He landed clients at 3K a month, 1K a month. And then since we helped so much on the fulfillment, the results spoke for itself, and he started closing clients at the $5,400 a month level, then the $5,900 a month level. And then he sent me this message saying, dude, I just closed a startup at 3 months for $9,200 a month. No joke. I was all pumped. Said, let's freaking go. Because this is life-changing stuff. He just went from an SDR working for somebody else, doing everything, by the way, creating the messaging, go-to-market strategy, even onboarding clients. So he had the building blocks of entrepreneurship. He was just doing it for somebody else. And now he's running a business making over $20,000 a month. And that's monthly recurring revenue. And he didn't build up this momentum so quickly because he watched a course for 6 months. He was able to jump on one-on-one calls with me, put the blinders on, and get direction on what's going to make the most impact today, not next month, not next year, but right now. And you might be thinking this is a big investment, which I'm not going to say we're the cheapest option out there. But if you look at the pricing and see where people are landing their clients, if you get one win with us, you're 8 to 10xing your investment. Because once you land a client, paying you $1,000 a month, $2,500 a month, or high ticket clients like Macau, it's not just 1 month. You're not resetting to zero. This is monthly recurring revenue. So that $2,500 a month client is actually $30,000 for you annualized. This is how you get off that quota chasing hamster wheel. Without it, you're just building another sales job for yourself. Here's another one, Isaiah. Just within the past week, I talked to him on Friday. He's a sales rep. He's selling to local businesses at his day job. And he said, hey, I can do this stuff for myself. So we talked on Friday. Within 24 hours, he landed his first client. It was a junk removal in this hardscaping home services company. Then he landed a recovery and wellness spa, so like a sauna and cold plunge facility. And then he landed a print and embroidery shop, like a screen printer. So you can see just in this one case study alone, how diverse, how many different types of businesses need this service. If you look at William was a car salesman. He was at the Kia dealership. He's already quit his job, landed his first client within the first week. And here he's sharing some of the results that he got. So he landed an HVAC client. So from running ads, he had 122% ROI in the very first month working with him, ads that we helped him set up. And that one client that they landed for this HVAC company turned into $10,000. So you can see how the ROI is there. If you're pitching your services at $2,500 a month, $5,000 a month, these are the types of clients we want to work with because you get one deal in from our funnels, you have a massive ROI. Patrice, she's doing over 10K a month with her business. She's in LA. She generated over $15,000 in revenue for a client in 4 days. 3 leads generated 15 grand. From a meta ads campaign. So for clients to fire you, they're literally turning off the lifeblood of their organization. So this service is so valuable. David and I have been doing this for almost a decade now at this point. We've been through some crazy economic times. 2020, these times where the markets are going crazy, but businesses still need marketing. I've had clients fire their family members before they fire us. We're that important to their business. Trace, he just joined within the last 2 weeks. He landed his first client, took it on opportunistically at $500 a month just to get some experience in a case study, which is something we teach you. And then in the contract, it flips over to $1,500 after the 90-day period. Let's scroll down the win wall. Georgie landed his first client also in the first week. I helped him set up the ad. It was a simple giveaway campaign that we ran for this client just to get him some results, and he generated over 90 leads with this campaign. Amazing. You can look at the data here. 90 leads generated, only $155 a lead. Incredible. William, he's up in the middle of nowhere, Sweden. If you look at the map, we've got people all over the world. So William is way the heck up here. You know, you've got these high populous areas like Stockholm, Oslo. He's way up here, like 5-6 hours north in the middle of nowhere. So William simply reached out to some home services companies, found a roofing client who needed some help. We helped him set up the ads, and he had generated over 20 leads in 2 weeks. 10 of them were $15,000 contracts or higher. So he immediately came out of that trial phase into a paid engagement where not only he was getting a monthly retainer, but he was also collecting 5% of every deal that closed. So with lead gen like this, it's essentially mailbox money because the bulk of the work is setting up the campaign, turning on the ads, optimizing it a little bit on the front end. But then once it's working, the worst thing you can do with an ad campaign is go in and make changes every day. So you're really spending about 1 to 2 hours a week on this client. So for you as a sales rep to be managing several clients on the side, safely incubating this while you have your 9 to 5 is very realistic. This is what I did. I didn't burn the boat overnight. I just simply landed a client. It was in the parking lot of my sales job for $2,500 a month. It also happened to be a screen printing company. And 3-4 months later, I was able to quit my job. That's $30,000 annualized. That was massive for me. Scroll down the winwall. Jeremy, also tech sales guy, landed an HVAC company. You can see William again, Kia car sales rep, locking down a $2,800 a month deal. He also got a verbal commitment for a $3,000 a month deal. Things can happen fast. TJ came from the world of real estate, landed his first client within the first week. Alex and Kevin, these guys are super interesting. They're actually targeting Ninja Kid Academies. So I helped them set up an ad so they weren't like cold calling to get businesses. They just ran one of their ads themselves, targeted these ninja gyms, and landed the CMO of the largest franchise in America. And they said, all right, we're going to test out one facility. If it goes well, we'll continue to scale it out. So he just sent me a DM here and let me know, hey, I just wanted to give you a quick update. That client, we generated $24,000 in revenue within the first 30 days and spent $680 in ad spend. This might be exactly the case study we need to lock in more gyms from the franchise. Massive wins. And again, just an example of the one-on-one support you're going to get in Growth School. This isn't just a course that you're going to go through for the next year and figure it out on your own. Our team, our expertise of spending $50 million plus in ad spend, we're going to inject directly into your business. So if you're worried about, hey, I don't know how to run ads, I don't have any experience in marketing. Look, I didn't have experience when I first started. No one on this winwall had experience when they first started. They all just had the sales rep experience from their jobs, which arguably is very, very important because an ad campaign doesn't work if you don't know how to go to market. You don't know how to create messaging. These are things you do every day. At your job, you probably have some marketing copy on the homepage of the website telling the value and the story of your product or service. But you being successful in sales, you're most likely tailoring that to the ICP that you're targeting. That experience of go-to-market is the domino effect to make all of this work. So you have a lot more experience than you give yourself credit for. You can see William when he closed his first client, $1,500 a month for 3 months. Nick, he's in the education sales space, closed his first trial client. Cameron, doing remote sales, landed his first client within a week. Kyle, he's blowing up his business. He's injecting AI into some of these businesses, handling their inbound, their outbound. He was an SDR, started building this up on the side. About the second or third month he was into the program, his job actually had a bunch of layoffs. And instead of going back to another sales job, he was just like, all right, well, I'll just keep blowing up the agency. It's going well now. I've got like 6 or 7 clients. Time to put my foot on the gas. You can see William when he quit his job. Anthony, him and his buddy were working at a huge multi-billion-dollar organization. Joined forces, started getting clients, and they made their first post. It was actually a Facebook post. He said, hey, here's what we're up to. We're offering a free trial to a few people. Bunch of people commented. My stepdad owns a roofing company. Hey, I know somebody who's in PE, they own pools and cleaning. Let's chat. So there's so many ways you can tackle your first client, which we'll cover on your kickoff call. Seeing the usual suspects, Macau, William, Kyle. Ramona, she's doing over 10K a month with her agency. You can see her on the About page of Growth School. Sophia, she was a sales rep. She was laid off. She didn't want to go back into sales. Landed a roofing client, paying her $5,000. Jonathan, him and his wife, they're doing almost $30,000 a month now since posting this. They're living the nomadic lifestyle, traveling around the country, completely running their business online. Umesh, in June, closed over $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Amin landed his first discovery call. Luke, knocking out a 1K retainer. Nikolai, He's up in Norway, landed his first client. Mateo getting his first paid client. So I've got pages and pages of this, 155. You can check out the testimonial page where we got everything posted up there. But when people say, I need to do more research, really what you want is more proof. You want to know this is real. And that's what the win wall is all about. The wins are the research, because there's nothing more reliable than watching sales reps just like you win over and over again. So if you're still wondering, just ask yourself, what would it mean to land your first $2,000 to $5,000 a month client for yourself? How different would life feel if you weren't resetting to zero every month on that quota chasing hamster wheel, but instead having MRR, something that grows, that you have equity in? That's what all these people did, and there's no reason why you couldn't be next. So if you're fired up like I am, book a call, let's talk, and get the business started.